welcome. My name is Eric, I'm from Games by Hyper, and today I want to show you something really awesome. And that is a walkthrough of my inventory system. And the inventory system is actually one of the systems I'm the most proud of. And I want to show you the key aspects of the system. So I've set up this example map just to show you, okay, how does this system work? And after this, I'm going to the actual example map of the system to show all the features. So the first thing that we notice is, of course, a very cool environment, but based on the inventory system, you can see there's a nice hotbar. And when I press I or tab, I'm able to open and close the inventory itself. I also do have made sure I'm able to close it manually with my mouse. And of course, what you can see is a lot of inventory items, and my inventory items are slot based, and all the inventory items have actions behind it. So in this case, a equipable, you can click with your right mouse button. It says you can equip or drop it. So in this case, let's drop this one, and it will drop in the world, and I'm able to pick it up again. The other thing is, you can see on the right there is an equipment panel. So let's try and equip a specific item. And which one do we want to equip? Let's do a pickaxe, like so. And a key feature of this inventory system is to make sure to also manage all the kinds of attributes of the system. So what you see is what kind of attributes are assigned to this actual item. So let's check out this cool storage chest. And this storage chest has some items in it. You can set it up yourself. You can define the starting items of it. And what you see is this inventory slots. It has 80 slots, 9 are filled. I currently have 50 slots in my inventory, of which 46 are filled. And I even have this cool button, like a transfer all. And it tries to transfer all my items towards the target, the destination, but it's full. So if it only made sure to fill the other 9. Included in the inventory system are interact locations. And interact locations are, for instance, a thing like this, like a campfire. And what we can do is we have a crafting menu there. And in this case, this campfire has assigned 4 recipes that this character has learned. And I've already put in some wood, I have put in some meat. You can see here the wooden log is used as a current combustible. And when this one is 0, it will burn the next log. We can also see the meat, it's decaying right now. And I am able to click on this recipe slot and it's going to craft it. And when it's finished, it will make sure to put the crafted item in the inventory of this specific campfire. So if I open it right here, you can see I don't have any meat. But if I'm opening the campfire, and I can transfer this one to my inventory, like so. So now we have some cooked meat. But of course, we do not want to craft everything at an interact location. So what I also made is a personal crafting tab. And in this case, you can see it here on the right. And these are all kinds of crafting recipes. I just transferred a lot of my items to this medium storage chest, so I do not have any available resources right now to craft anything. I think this gives quite a good overview of quickly what the capabilities of the system are. It has a lot more than this, and we will dive into that right now. I will see you in the example map. So we are now in the example map as how you get it when you play the demo or if you purchase this system. The first thing that you will notice is you see these 2 characters right there with all kinds of items around them, and these are obviously vendors. However, I will spare them for a later example. Let's first dive into this first room. And this first room is all about the settings. And in this case, it says it uses an enhanced input system. And an enhanced input system is being used to control this character, but also opening and closing an inventory and making sure to interact with items. The meta sounds is only used for specific pickup pads that are only here for an example, so that's not required at all for your own project settings. This character is being set up with actor components. I've done it like that, so it is very easy for you to set up. You can drag and drop these components on your character, and of course, if you have also done the other settings, it should work out of the box. Please note that a lot of the systems that are included are basic components, except the inventory one. This is a full advanced inventory components with all the capabilities that you could imagine. So we are now going into the next room. It's called inventory actions. It's a very small room, however, it is very important. It is showing the key features of the system for performing any inventory action in the inventory itself. So let's first pick up this touch. It's 45 touch. And why is it so many? Because I want to show you a very cool feature. When I press the right mouse button, I clicked the wrong buttons. I am able to split it. So I can split one. So that means one is split, and I can drag this one upon that stack again and getting back at it again. So splitting one. This one will not show any split options because it's only one. I'm able to drag and drop it together again, so it's stackable again. I'm able to split it in half. If it is not a round number, it will just round it up. And I'm also able to split it custom. So for instance, let's split 5 like so. And here we have it. We have 5 different touch. But you also saw the split all option. So let's do that. So for instance, on this 5, split all, it will make sure to split it in 5 different stacks like so. And I'm able to drag and drop it all together. And now we have one stack of 45 again. So that split option is actually quite expensive. It was hard to make, but I really like it. It works really well. Now onto another one. Here we have a medium quality loot chest, and you can see we have all kinds of random items in it. And we can drag and drop it here. I can double click it to automatically transfer it to my own inventory. I can right click and say, okay, transfer this one. Let's see. Okay, here we have 15 coins and I have different transfer options. So I would like to say, okay, I only want to have 1 coin transferred, or I can show I want 5 coins transferred, or if I'm splitting this one in this inventory like so. There's also an option transfer all of time. So in this case, here we have a stack of 5 and here we have a stack of 4. However, sometimes you want to have all the items that are in one specific inventory. So here is a transfer all of type. So it says it is in total 9, and that's correct. And if I click on it, it will transfer all the items that is found in that inventory to my target inventory. How awesome is that? And of course, there is a transfer all button. So when I click this one, it will just transfer everything. And I can also transfer it all back into a different inventory. Let's go into the inventory options room. And this room is a very important one. This is nowhere near all the capabilities of what the system can. However, it tries to show you an abstract level, okay, what is it capable of. So let's first look at this initial inventory one. you're able to define, okay, which interact location, which starting inventory does it need. So this one is a medium storage chest. This one has a cookie, a small storage chest with some dynamite in it, and a large storage chest with a feather in it. And I've assigned manually these items to be shown, oh, these need to be spawned. I mean, that's also good to see you have dynamic slot creation. So here you see this one has 0 slots until infinite. What you can do if you transfer items into this inventory, when it's full, it will just create new slots automatically. I don't have any items right now, so but you get the idea. And this one, if you look at the lower right corner, here it says 0 of the 6 slots are filled. So that one is a fixed slot. The loot chest. Loot chests are randomly generated based per category. Okay, what kind of items do we want to spawn in? And I've set up 3 different types of loot chests for you. A low quality loot chest, a medium quality loot chest, and a high quality loot chest. And all of them are auto generated per category. So for instance, if we look at this high quality loot chest, we can see this one is spawning equipment. The medium quality loot chest is more spawning things like a med pack, a potion, some coins. And the low quality loot chest doesn't spawn equipment. It has less coins in it. I saw some burnt meat, like here, and some random stuff like a face, a goblet, some empty wheels, a skull, things that are practically not worth much. The vendor logic. All of my inventory items are able to be traded. And in this case, here we have an example of a vendor like a woodcutter. And it is able to define, okay, which items does it accept, which items does it sell, and what kind of coins does it accept. So in this case, look at the amount of coins that this inventory has. It says it has 312 coins. I have 2000 coins, and I'm able to right click on this and say, okay, I want to trade one item. I want to trade the complete stack or everything that you have. So let's buy one watermelon and let's try to sell him milk. Oh, but he doesn't want milk. Yeah, that's because he's a woodcutter. And the woodcutter said, well, I'm not interested in this item. However, if you want to sell sticks to him, he says, well, that's fine because I can trade it. So I can trade one. I can trade the whole stack, like so. Please also note the multipliers between the vendor and the player itself. So here it says the sell price is 14 coins, so I buy it. But when I'm trying to sell it again, he says, well, I'm only going to buy it for 7 coins because I do need to make a profit, right? All of these variables are dynamically being able to set up also via data table. It's really easy to do. Decay logic. Items want you want certain items to be decayed. For instance, this meat, like so. This currently has 86 durability. However, I can imagine you would want to be able to manipulate the amount of decay. So for instance, this is like a preserving bin, so there's slower decay, and this one is just a storage chest, so there's some meat in here, and you can see this one is decaying way quicker than this preserving bin, right? So via this method you're able to make like refrigerators or adapt it based on what temperature is outside, or whatever you would like. Crafting and combustion. I've set up 3 crafting tables here, and these two need combustion, and that one does not. So here I have cooking pot, and I have a recipe here. So if I'm and I have some meat in this inventory, so if I click on this meat because I want to craft it, it says, well, it's not doing anything. But if you look at the upper right corner, it says it needs fuel and beyond to craft. So let's check out. We have a stick, we have a wooden log, and we have some coal ore. So if I click on this, you can see it actually works. Like so. And now we have some meat here. But let's now take out the combustible. So I've taken out the stick, coal ore, and the wooden log. And I am going to create... Oh, there is still one coal ore actually in this inventory. It's still burning, as you can see. So it keeps... it does not destroy the fuel automatically. However, let's test it out with that campfire. So I'm getting all the sticks, the coal, and the wooden log. I'm trying to put it on, and it's not able to. And now if I'm trying to craft some meat, it doesn't work because it needs a combustible. But we are able to define several combustibles. It's just an array. You can just click on, I only accept this combustible. You can set up different combustion rates, like the coal is like 60 seconds of burn time, and the stick has only 15 seconds of burn time. So let's put in one stick. So let's get the transfer one option. I put one stick in there, and I will try to craft 5 meat. And if we see, okay, this one is now crafting. It gets a meat here. We only have a couple of seconds left of this stick burning, right? So when it's 0, it stopped because it doesn't have any fuel anymore. Also, the fire is gone out, and this recipe has stopped. So what am I going to do? I'm going to transfer coal here. I'm going to turn it on, and we are able to continue crafting. But of course, you do not want to require combustion every time. So in this case, I've set up a workbench, and this workbench has some crafting recipes. I do have the amounts available to craft a couple of things. So for instance, this wooden plank, and I'm just able to craft it. As you also can see, it doesn't have like an on or an off button, because this is just able to do its work. So let's now check out the interact locations. And the interact locations is a core functionality of this inventory system. It shows many possibilities, but also it is quite it's intended for crafting during all types of games. So let's first check out this interact locations for farming. And this one shows, okay, hey, we do have some crafting recipes. For instance, we need to make some fertilizer, and it actually requires some feces. So I have that here. I'm able to transfer these feces into this inventory, and now I'm able to see, oh, I do have sufficient. However, I don't have sufficient fiber. So if we also get our fiber, put it in, we are able to convert it to some fertilizer. The preserving bin, that prevents decaying items or slows it down. I've also set up some water wells, a dirty one, and this one is a clean one. Interact locations like Handicraft, so that's more like a tanning rack. That's for creating equipment, especially that you can put on. A cowboy hat, for instance, that needs 4 leather. Do we have leather here? That's a hide, that's 1 leather. And to make leather, I need 2 hides. So I can put a leather in here. I can put a hide in here. I don't have sufficient hide to make the leather, but it's respawning really quickly. So let's check it out. Okay, now we have 2 hides. It says, okay, you can craft 1 leather. So I'm just doing it right now. And now we have 3 leather, but of course we need way more to make something. The alchemy lab. The alchemy lab is more for potion, med kits, these kind of things, and that needs things like aloe vera, some plants, some fiber to create the actual items that you would like. I think we already have seen the cooking pots and the campfires. And of course, smithing. Smithing, I always like smithing, especially in games like Skyrim or Rust. I've set up a smelter here, and here are some ingots. And as you can see, I have ores, iron ore, coal ore, and a copper ore. The coal ore actually is being able to use as a fuel. So if I will click these on, and you can see the fire is starting, and it's creating the ingots, like so. So let's transfer them to our inventory. I can see here we also have some very cool and valuable ingots laying around. And of course we would want to forge things. And forging things is like steel hatchets. That's not something that you would be able to create in your own inventory, because you would need to smelt, in this case, the steel ingots. However, it also requires a lot of fiber, wooden planks, etc. So we are not able to forge anything right now. And the workbench, we already saw the workbench. And of course the chests. And the chest is the loot chest that we saw. And also the storage chest. And that is a small, a medium, and a large one. So let's dive into the vendor map. And the vendor map, it's I've set up like a lot of predefined vendors here, and somebody here seems to have lost his coins 2 times apparently. So I now have 8,000 coins because I also found some way back. And when you enter this vendor room, you see a lot of vendors standing around, and I've tried to set this up so you can see, okay, what kind of vendor is this, and you can use that in your own game. For instance, this is probably a general goods merchant. And yeah, if I'm walking close to it, it will show, okay, this is the general goods. I can open it, and it will show all kinds of items that are just predefined, sitting here. It's predefined, generated per category, because you do not want to select specific items for all of these items that you can see right here. That's a lot of work. However, you are able to. I have included that, but to make it more easy, you can just say, okay, I just want to have all plants and flowers with this sale price in here. So, like so. There is also a blacksmith, and the blacksmith has, of course, a lot of ingots, ammunition, weapons, these kind of things. Here we have a builder, and the builder has all kinds of construction materials. Please know that this system is not intended anyway as a full equipment manager, a combat system, or a building system. These are just here as an example for an inventory item. However, you are able to place something. Maybe this guy has like a growing plot, or a compass pin. I think that's a good one to test out. So I've just bought a compass bin from him, and I'm able to place this compass bin in the world, like so. And it requires some wooden planks and fiber. I don't have that right now, but you get the idea of it. However, this building placement is just here as an example, so it's not intended to work as a full on building system. There's a fisher here, a woodcutter, scholar, tavern merchant, and of course some jewelry, and a herbalist with all kinds of fiber, farmables, flowers, and whatnot. Now onto the pickup item and data table logic. And of course it seems obvious, but it has a lot of work in it to make sure the pickup is working really, really well. And it has a lot of options. For instance, respawn logic, but also just picking it up like this trace, showing what you can do with it by pressing E in this case, pick up the backpack. And this one won't respawn, this one will respawn, and this one will respawn in a random radius. So let's check it out. Okay, this one is respawned, and the radius was very close by. However, it did respawn in this random radius. It is also good to know all of the items that are included right here. It's a lot of work to set up. It is of course data table driven. However, if you want to edit the data table in your engine itself, it is a lot of work because it has so many variables, and you would want to make sure to be able to adapt it more quickly. So what I've done, I've created this massive Excel. I will zoom in a bit like so, which you can use to define all the variables for every item on a very quick way. I've included a full workflow system on how you can adapt it to your own, so you're able to import hundreds of items easily and quickly. Now onto the UI. And the UI actually does include a theme changer. Currently what you see right here is like a survival theme. You see this dirty smudges around here. I see this black borders, but it is also it's not a clean line. We have this crafting menu right here and these attributes, and this works all very well. However, I can assume and I can imagine that you would like to adapt this down to your own. So let me show you how you can do that. So I have opened a data table called UI styles, and I've defined two UI styles for you. It's called the survival gold one and a modern gray. And if I click on the survival gold one, I can see all kinds of different values that are assigned to this one. So in this case, let's open up the top bar. And it says, okay, for the top bar, the background, it's using this image, and it is using that specific color. Also for the spacer, it doesn't use an image, it's only a color. So what you can do, you can just change it right here in this data table, and it will automatically adapt the wall style. So I have created this modern gray one, and this one has different images than the survival gold, and of course also different colors. So how to change that to your own style? The only thing that you would need to do, you need to open this blueprint right here, the blueprint function library UI. Here you can select the order style, you compile it, save it, and now let's open the UI again. So I've opened the project and I'm pressing I, and what you can see, the UI has completely changed with a click on the button. So I am able to go to these crafting items. You see the tooltip, the borders, the lines, the styles, the smudges, the backgrounds, the font types, the headers, everything is completely changed with one click on the button. And I really spent a lot of effort on this just to make sure that you're able to define this on your own style. It's using the same layout right now. However, you can also choose to use a different layout. Really easy, really quickly. So now onto the last room, and that is the resources. And what it does, what it has is, it shows all the assets that are actually included with this system. And also all the icons that you see are just here in this project. Actually, I've also created a icon creator for this system. I don't promote it very much because actually I don't know why. It's working great. What you do is you open a texture. I've set up a map and a blueprint. You can select the item in the blueprint, like here. So you select the mesh and then you can define the position and the location of that specific mesh. It will display right here in this texture. And when that's finished, you click on create static texture and the icon is created. And you can create icons with real items really quickly and really easy. I think this gives a good overview of what the capabilities of this system are. Of course, there's way more to it than what I just showed you. This is a real extensive system that is highly adaptable for, I think, actually nearly any project that needs any type of interact location, inventory, crafting, or whatever. I think you can port this to mobile. I can think you can port this to VR, of course, with some work. However, the base and the code behind it, it's highly adaptable. I hope you liked it. Please let me know what you think of it, and I hope you have a very nice day. Bye. Congrats, you have reached the end of this video, and of course I hope you liked it. So please let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Feel free to reach out anytime, for instance via Discord or Patreon, and don't forget to check out one of the videos that I will be posting somewhere here. And of course, I hope you have a very nice day. Bye.